Hello everyone. In this video I am going to discuss about reflection of light by spherical mirror. Yes, reflection of light we already discussed in the last video. That is, when a light falls on mirror, a part of light is turning back to the same medium. That phenomenon is called reflection of light. Now this is spherical mirror. Mirror means it is made of glass. Front surface is optical and back surface is opaque. Yes, we already know optical medium means the medium which allows the ray of light. Opaque medium means which does not allow the ray of light. Now this is not a plane mirror. This is spherical mirror. Spherical. For example, if I am going to take a football, that is hollow sphere. When that football is cut into two pieces, one part of that ball is spherical. But here I am not going to use ball. This is mirror. Suppose if I am going to take this sphere, when this sphere is cut into two pieces, one part of the sphere becomes spherical. Now this is spherical mirror. Spherical mirror is a part of a sphere of which one surface is reflecting and another surface is opaque medium. That means one surface allows the ray of light and another surface do not allow the ray of light. So this is reflection of light by spherical mirror. Now the question arises, why we have to use spherical mirrors? Why not plane mirrors? Yes, because spherical mirrors are having many applications in our daily life than plane mirror. For example, if I am going to consider plane mirror, so when a person is standing in front of the plane mirror, size of the person and size of the image on the mirror is equal. Similarly, the distance between the person and the image, they are always equal. The size, the distances in plane mirrors are always the same. And whatever the image is formed on the plane mirror, it is always a virtual image. Virtual means not real. It is apparent. When it comes to spherical mirror, in spherical mirror, we can increase size or we can decrease the size of the object, and also we can change the distance between them, and also it can cover more area. It covers more area of the field. For example, spherical mirrors are used by the dentist because they want to enlarge the image of the tooth. So when it comes to the point of enlargement or magnification, we can choose a spherical mirror, because in spherical mirror we can either increase or decrease the size, or we can increase or decrease the distances. And also spherical mirrors are used in the vehicles. So we are using spherical mirrors that may be concave or convex. What happens? Easily we can observe the traffic behind that vehicle using spherical mirror because it covers more area. And also it is used as the headlights of the vehicle. So many applications are there for spherical mirrors than plane mirror. So we are going to study about reflection of light by spherical mirror. Now, spherical mirror is divided into two types, and they are concave mirror and convex mirror. What is concave mirror? First we have to know the general meaning. Concave, inward, convex, outward. Now you can observe the diagram. The first diagram indicates concave mirror. So this is a sphere. We are not going to take sphere, but we are going to take only the part of sphere. So this blue color line indicates spherical mirror, where so the inner surface is reflecting. If reflecting surface is inward, and opaque medium is outward, then we can call it as concave mirror. You can observe the same diagram. This is concave mirror where reflecting surface is inward or reflecting surface is towards the center of curvature. C indicates center of curvature. Right? Similarly, convex mirror means it is exactly opposite to concave. Concave is inward, convex is outward. That means reflecting surface is away from center of curvature. So this reflecting surface is outside, here the reflecting surface is inside. Here it is towards the center, but here it is away from the center. So these are the two types of spherical mirror. The two types of spherical mirrors are concave mirror and convex mirror. What is concave mirror? It is a spherical mirror of which reflecting surface is towards the center of curvature or it is inward. Then what is convex mirror? It is a part of a sphere of which reflecting surface is outward or away from center of curvature. Is it clear? Concave mirror inward towards, convex mirror outward or away from center of curvature. Then you can observe the same diagram. Here I written C indicates center of curvature, R indicates radius of curvature and P indicates pole. So these are the very important basic points related to spherical mirrors. Pole, center of curvature, radius of curvature. Pole is denoted by P, center of curvature is denoted by C and radius of curvature is denoted by R. So what is a pole? Either you can take concave mirror or convex mirror. How to define pole? So this pole is midpoint of spherical mirror. It is not the midpoint of sphere, but it is the midpoint of spherical mirror. That may be concave or convex. So what is pole? Pole is the midpoint of spherical mirror and it is denoted by P. Then C indicates center of curvature. That means it is center of sphere of which spherical mirror is a part, because this part is completely absent. It is imaginary. Right? So this is center of sphere. In that we are going to consider only spherical part or spherical mirror. Is how to define center of curvature. It is the center of the sphere of which spherical mirror is a part and it is denoted by C. Then the third point is radius of curvature. Yes, it is very easy to define radius of curvature using the diagram. R, this is between C and P. P indicates pole, C indicates center of curvature. Yes, how to define radius of curvature? It is distance between pole and center of curvature. It is the distance between pole and center of curvature, or we can also define it as it is radius of sphere of which spherical mirror is a part. Is it clear about all the 3 points? P indicates pole, R indicates radius of curvature and C indicates center of curvature. Now, the next point is principal axis and aperture. Principal axis. As we know, head of the institute is only one person. Likewise, only one axis is passing through pole and center of curvature. So this straight line is called principal axis. You can observe that straight line. This straight line is passing through pole and center of curvature. So this straight line we can call it as principal axis. So why we have to call this axis as principal axis? As the head of the institute is only one person, likewise only one axis can pass through pole and center of curvature. So this single axis or this straight line, we are going to call it as principal axis. Then last point is aperture. Aperture means area. The area available for reflection of light. This area we can call it as aperture. This area is only available for which phenomenon? Reflection of light. So this area we are going to call it as aperture. So these are the some basic terms which are related to spherical mirror. Okay, in the next video we can discuss about the same reflection of light by spherical mirror, but there we are going to study about focal length, principal focus, whether it is real or virtual, how the image is formed, that we can study in the next video.